Okay, so thank you everybody. This is the AIware Bootcamp in Toronto, so thanks everybody for coming today. I know a lot of you have traveled here, and it's a Sunday, so I really appreciate you spending your Sunday with us. Well, you're gonna spend the whole week with us, so it's gonna be fun. So opportunity to make friends and new relations and connections. Okay, so, there's a lot of people that actually, made this happen. So this is the main organizing team. So myself, Gopi actually has been doing 90% of a lot of the legwork, making everything happen. Okay, Jack, Dayi, Bram, and Ying as well. So, we brought in a whole team. This is also us, the people that started this. We decided to do this actually in July. So it's amazing from July to where we are here today, getting this, and I'm very grateful to all of you as well that are attending on such a short notice. When we went ahead doing that, right, we actually decided to do it a bit different. So it's not only what we think, we actually created this curriculum, and then we reached out to many people from many companies around the world, many places, many universities around the world, to really show them the curriculum and get their feedback. So I would say we started this curriculum and we felt this is what we wanted to do. Actually, originally it was only supposed to be like a day, because we do a tutorial at ICSE and FSE. It's only actually an hour and a half. We felt that's not too much, that's too little. But as we started doing that, it ended up being 2 weeks. So now we compressed it to like 5-6 days, okay? So it's actually a very surprised us to discover there's so much in this field, and it's a whole new way to think about how to build, what is software engineering, what is even innovation in the world moving forward. So very grateful for all the feedback and all the input from all these experts around the world. As well, thanks to our sponsors. So they either, dedicated time, they put their money as well to support us happening here. We're very happy that we're actually able to as well broadcast this on YouTube, on Zoom. So I just posted on that, it's actually available. So if any of your students couldn't come, it's available, we're broadcasting live as well. And originally the hope is we're gonna put this on YouTube as well once done, so we can share it more widely. Now a special thank to Smiths, the Smith School of Business. So people that I know, Queens is actually not in Kingston. It's not in Toronto, we're actually in Kingston, which is 2.5 hours away from here. But actually Queen's University has a campus here that we do a lot of our kind of professional MBA programs coming out of there. And as you can see, the facility and the location tells you how much investment Queens really cares about connecting to industry and connecting to experts as well. So they have provided us a facility, they provide a lot of support to make this happen today. There was no way we could do this in downtown Toronto on such short notice. So very grateful to their help in making this happen. Okay, so I'm gonna start by the introduction really is by giving you an idea of where the industry is today and what their view on what's happening in the world by showing a small video. This is from the AnyScale Rate team, which is one of the top runtimes for AI type of software today in the world. So AI is changing. The question is, what's happening to software? Software today is based on AI. We call that AIware. So we started a conference last year called AIware. Okay, that was that. And many experts around the world, you saw an industry perspective here, some academics, industrial folks, the realization is that these large language models or foundational models change how we do AI, change actually what is the definition of software. Okay? There are people that think that generative models themselves are not enough. Instead, there's actually something beyond that. And more as we see the capabilities of these models and the limitations, we realize that. And now the reality is, throughout the industry, there's this kind of two sides. There's one side that's okay, there's tons of evil that will come out of this, but as well there's tons of good that will come out of it, right? We believe that with the right people in the room, which is kind of some of you, a lot of young people here, okay, we could be more on the kind of the enhancing the human intelligence and not just only about replacing humans, that actually can really augment people quite a bit. Okay. The impact as well is not just only on AI itself, but as well on the computing infrastructure and what is even definition of what is software industry as a whole, right? So Satya Nadella, last year exactly at the same time, recognizing that he's been in the business of providing infrastructures for the last 20 years at Azure. The workloads that this AI type of software, AIware, is bringing up is totally changing how they plan their software, how they plan their infrastructures, and even Bill Gates is recognizing it's really going to change how we use computers today, what exactly the definition of computer, and what is the definition of software. Okay, and then when you look at Sam Altman's view, so there's a recognition that the software that's being deployed today, these AIs, these O1s and so on, are not ready. They are not at the safety levels that usually we people use to actually submitting software that using by everybody in the world. Okay, so there's a lot more caution needed here, and you can see on two extremes that the AI folks, which is like high innovation, and software engineering, with this kind of like high caution, trustworthiness. And the question is if software engineering itself doesn't rethink itself, doesn't really realize where it fits in that new world, it will be kind of long gone and forgotten. So this is kind of where we're here today. The idea here is to talk about this. There's a lot of experts that we brought in. They have a lot of experience, but as well, there's a lot of young talent here that we hope as well, speak up, say what you think if something is confusing. Now, I'm going to recognize one thing. It's very compressed, so we're going to be going very fast. Okay, so please, if you feel confused, scream. Okay, it's the first time this whole thing is run, so there might be too much material. If you're overheating, tell us. We don't want anybody kind of dying from too much overload, okay? Now, where's software engineering and foundational models? Okay, so we think of them from, how do you can use foundational models to help software engineers? Okay, so that you can think about AI for SE, FM for SE, LLM for SE, basically intelligent SE 2.2, 2.0, I mean, okay? And then software engineering for AIware. So this is software where there is no longer code, it's just foundational models, AI agents. How do you build that type of software? How do you make sure that software is secure? Then even below that, what people don't realize today, that the large language models, the foundation model, are some of the most complex software that we have ever built. Okay? These systems require just one run to make sure it works, or a test might require $500,000. So if you forget, oops, I didn't comment the logs, that's $1 million mistake. Okay? So and then even lower software engineering for actually the neural operators. So software engineering needs to be rethought the whole stack. Okay? And there's all this overlap and all of opportunities to young talent to look into that, and to us as well as experts to rethink what exactly software engineering can play there. Okay. So we started this idea by thinking, okay, we have this software 1.0, which is codeware, the classic software we know about. Then we moved to software 2.0, right? So software 2.0 here is neural networks. Okay. Then from there we moved to promptware, so that's more the prompting. Okay. And then somewhere in here is this promptware, ragware, okay? So that's kind of what most people are talking about. Today, then, what people are projecting is the future is going to be in this agentware, okay? We're kind of here at this moment, there's no really large agentware systems that have been deployed. There's a lot of research, but nothing really has been deployed. And then beyond that, what we call mindware. Mindware is the idea is, unless we're using a large language models, we're going to use things called world models. So it's going to be different in there. Okay. So as I said, they change everything. We must rethink what is software engineering, what is software innovation itself. And in particular, this idea of open innovation. So we have gone where You know, you can go, a couple of people in a very top lab can work on a problem and solve it. Instead, we're seeing more and more this teams of people from around the world coming together, trying to solve something together, right? So very nice initiatives, for example, the Big Code initiative, trying to build a large language model for source code. This is done by a lot of people around the world, thousands of people coming together. And as you can see here, this graph shows you that over time, you know, so the kind of the cyan, kind of the light blues are, you know, the frontier, you know, commercial models, and then the blue ones are the open source models. And you can see them getting closer and closer to the capabilities of that. But these are built by teams of people working together, and then there's Open Devin and so on. Okay. Now, one of the things you will notice that we use a lot, we use the word foundational model. We don't use large language model. The reasons are two things. First is large is not the problem, and it's not language. Okay? It's the foundational aspect is really the big thing. Okay? So foundational models is really the big thing, and you know, as you can see today, people say, oh, we're using a small large language model. The same way it doesn't make sense to go and order a small large coffee, it doesn't make sense to talk about the large part. It's the foundation. Small foundational models, because as well as you can see, the next 2 years is all going to be about multimodal, you know, image and so on, okay? Now, a couple of kind of administrative things. So we're going to have 2 dinners that are included. Okay, so Sunday tonight. Okay, the information for the dinners are on the website and in the email you got. So it's all you can eat sushi place at 7:45 p.m. If I don't think in the US they have these, but basically you're gonna sit, you're gonna order, and you just keep on ordering and they bring the food to you, okay? And if you don't eat it, they'll charge you, okay? So make sure you balance your eating. Okay, so that's one. And then on Tuesday, there's going to have an Indian restaurant dinner as well, okay? So these are included. All the daily lunches as well are going to be served outside here, and the breaks as well, okay? On Thursday, there's an excursion, okay? So lately, where's the, so yeah, we're going to see, so the CN Tower is behind you there, okay, and the aquarium is behind you. So really in front of there's like 2 big highlights for Toronto, the CN Tower and the aquarium. We're going to do the aquarium, kind of, so the morning is going to be a quiet time. Then we're going to meet up. So you can meet earlier, have lunch together, you know, but we're going to meet at the aquarium entrance at 12:45. We're going to do the aquarium. Then from there, you guys are going to go to the CN Tower. So sunset now is at 5, so the idea is you get some of the sunrise, you know, the sun, get views, and then get sunset views, and then kind of go downstairs. You can stay there till they kick you out, I don't care, okay? So there's a Slack for communication. You get an email as well as the Slack stuff, okay? For email, for internet, there is this little thing here, so you could just use that. You know, it has all the information to connect to the internet, okay? So if you could pass that around. Okay, now, as I said, please speak up, please participate. We don't want it to be only a one-way thing, okay? The best way I can describe it, so if nobody knows about frogs, but if you put a frog in a pot of cold water and you start boiling it, they don't do anything until they die, okay? Our views here, the AIware folks, is we have jumped outside of that pot. The rest of the industry, a lot of the academics are still sitting there, having a good time, thinking it's business as usual. It is not business as usual. The world is changing. And I'm glad we're sitting outside having a good time, having dinners together and discussing. And let's continue that, you know, throughout the week. Okay? So, you know, this is kind of a video to kind of pump us up for the whole event, for the whole week. So I'm going to do that. And then after that, you know, Jack will actually, our first keynote speaker.